Order accepting change order number 1 to the contract of PSIGA LLC for biosolid screening, loading, transportation, and disposal, city project number 15B050091.
All right, hold on. Before we move in second on this is another item that touches on litigation. I know we've discussed this pretty thoroughly. And so if there's a need to go into executive session, I'll entertain it. I know, but y'all know the contours of this. If we can do it without going to an executive session, that's fine. But if people want to do executive session, I'd like to put this at the end of the agenda. So before we move in second, does anybody going once, going twice need to do executive session? Mr. Banks?
Let me just say this. I just want to appreciate the council colleagues that have been here previously for helping to provide a lot of color to what was really going on. I think that it could be used as something to help prevent, this type of stuff from happening in the future. And hopefully, with contract compliance and some of the things that we're putting in place, we will run here again. Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, Mr. Mayor.
I'd just like to say that I believe that this agreement reflects the best interest of the city, and it also accounts for the interest of subcontractors in that process. And so I think that's a good thing.
All right. So,
Mr. President?
Yes, sir.
I don't want executive session, but I follow up on what the mayor is saying now. If subcontractors, we got to make sure that everybody has been treated right. And if the mayor is saying everything is thumbs up, I have no problem. I have no question.
All right.
So move, Mr. Vice President.
Second.
Item number 32 has been moved and properly seconded. Mr. Stamps.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. This issue was one that took us down through there in the last term. We went
very
round
polite.
and round. It's down through there. I won't say where there is.
It's a South Jackson term.
Right, but down through there, I won't say where there is. But we went through a rough patch in dealing with this item to turn around and be able to identify $5 million to bring this down to the true cost, and next year look forward to a degree of savings, speaks to the competency of the team we brought forward. I'm the one that talks about fraud, waste, and abuse all the time. I don't think that there was fraud here, but I do think that there was extreme incompetence. Extreme incompetence.
Well, they won't go to jail for a long time, but they got to go to jail.
Maybe we need to go to executive session.
I already know my parameters, Mr. Vice President. I got my parameters, my margin on legal yesterday.
All right.
But I think that this speaks to extreme incompetence, and we didn't ask the right question. We asked a lot of questions in this process, but we never asked how much material needs to be moved. And we went through the ring on this thing. But for this administration to come forward, review everything with a fine-tooth comb, work with all the parties involved so that everyone can be compensated for the work they did, primes and subs, work to an agreement where all parties involved can move forward, and then turn around and save $5 million. I think the mayor should be waving this from every rooftop and singing it from every mountain, because we're out here trying to get Miss Williams, who on Social Security, to come up with a $200 water bill, but we're not going after folks whose incompetence could have lost us $5 million. And so I believe that we have to go after both ends, but when you got a $5 million savings because of the competence that's been brought forward, but speaks to the incompetence that was here, that was in this contract 5 years ago. And it's not about Yarber's administration. This predates him. This is a while ago where the work product was unearthed. So I want to look at everything that has been put forward by this contractor that gave us this data that we based all this off of, and look deep into that, because if they were incompetent in one area, I'm sure they were incompetent somewhere else. Stay within the lane,
Mr. Mayor.
Quickly, thank you for that compliment, Councilman Stamps. I would take that and I feel like deflect it this direction to Mr. Miller. He did a wonderful job in that area, and so we're appreciative of his effort and his work.
All right. I've got things to say, but then I'd be breaking my own rules. So anything further?
No.
All right. All those in favor? Item carries unanimously. Next item.